jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. WCS is the first in the building. Yeah, salute to those who are on their way inbound. It's Friday. You know how it is, man. The notification, it is what it is. I can't control what I don't own. And what I don't own, I cannot make changes to, man. But I do have some hot topics for you. Of course, you see the thumbnail. We're going to get on Errol Spence Jr. versus Sebastian Fundora. All right? But first, to all of you that been paying attention to certain activities that's been going on in boxing, y'all, it make you want to just take a deep breath and sigh, bro. You know what I'm saying? Take a deep breath, just blow it out from the side. You're like, damn, another incident. So let's take a look at Devin Haney and his people getting into a situation with a unknown individual. They're trying to claim, like Dookie Brown over there, lying, talking about it was a Ryan Garcia fan. And Devin Haney was arrested. I have not found any information that Devin Haney was arrested because of this incident. I haven't found no mugshot, haven't found nothing. But it's easy to put the information out there, just because it's circulating. It's doing its rounds out here. But this is what I'm talking about right here, man. Let's take a little moment. Devin had threw a shot. Whoever that guy is, he's outnumbered, even though he's just going, really, when it comes to the end of the day, people grabbing your clothes and pulling you around, that's some hoe ass shit. I see females do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? I see females fight like that all the time. They be pulling each other's hair, pulling each other's freaking shirts and shit like that. Once again, this is Devin Haney and his people. Devin throws the first punch. And then somebody, blindsides him, knocks him down, right? And then moves back. And then this guy, he want to play, jump on the carousel and play Ring Around the Mosey and shit. It's stuff like this, man, that people, it's a bad look, but I can't say I ain't seen it before. I don't know what the guy said. I'm not going to just say, okay, I know what happened. I don't know what the hell happened. All I saw was him throw a punch. Now, what I do have a problem with, Devin, is the fact that you are a professional fighter and you threw a punch on an innocent civilian who, in my opinion, who I'm going to assume is not a professional fighter. I'm falling back. So I'm going to assume that the guy wasn't a professional fighter. Even if he was, Devin has to be smarter than that. Is this the first time? No. The reason why I'm not going to jump all over Devin Haney because Caleb Plants, he's been in several fights. You know what I'm saying? He's been in several fights where they was just, sitting up here throwing hands with 5 or 6 v1. You know what I'm saying? People have to think about that before they go ahead and jump to conclusions and say, well, Devin threw the first punch. Okay, if you want to make a meme of it and talking about he didn't move the guy wasn't hurt, I get it. But at the end of the day, I've seen fighters of recent, get into scuffles. You know what I'm saying? How many times have we seen fighters get into scuffle with individuals that are not licensed professional fighters? So just because it was him and he's an easy target, no, man, there's been plenty of fighters that's doing this. I can go on both hands on incidents. I'm not trying to. I'm not bringing them into this situation. I'm just pretty much talking about what I seen and how it looked. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about how it looked. The fact that, he walked away. Hey, if that's the type of people that he hanging around, he threw the first punch, but then he walks away. Hey, that's nobody's gonna hold him accountable. Nobody's gonna say anything to him. They just gonna be like, yeah, whatever. I don't know what the words was exchanged between him and that person. I don't know. He might have been mad disrespectful. I don't know, man. But they're trying to say it was a Ryan Garcia fan. Get the heck up out of here. Speaking of Ryan Garcia, he had to chime in and say what he had to say, right? So let's look at what Ryan Garcia had to say. Ryan Garcia said he couldn't even drop a civilian. Also, you talked about being a great role model. You really punch someone while your whole team jumps one guy. Sounds pretty ditty to me. Well, let's go back to you, Ryan Garcia, on how Caleb Plant was trying to get at you, and luckily for you, you had security that did the exact same thing to Caleb Plant, all because he tossed some water your way. You was up here talking about Jordan Garcia being disrespectful towards somebody's wife. So you really don't have no say-so about being a role model because you failed miserably. It's not enough F's in the alphabet to give you a report card of what expectations supposed to be of you. You know what I'm saying? You failed miserably. We're not talking about in-house detention with you, Ryan Garcia. We're talking about expulsion. You can't talk on that. Yeah, people pick and choose the targets that they select to speak on, but yet they don't want to bring in other comparable situations to make it neutral. They just want to lean heavy on what's popping right now and act like it's something brand new that never happened before in life. No, no. Ryan Garcia was just in there with his security, and they had a situation with Caleb Plant who tossed water on you, and they was pushing them all on the ground or whatever. So you was an instigator. You've been in situations where you was the instigator too. Real talk. So role model. I can't believe you even typed that. You know what I'm saying? Those four letters on your keyboard probably burned. There's a lot of people that was looking at you to be a role model, and you failed them miserably. Let me get to the chat right quick. Shout out to Mike in the building. I mean, Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. Salute to your blunts. I see you on deck. Band on deck. What's good? Errol still recovering from T-Mobile massacre, and it's without a trainer he's done. I can't even say anything to go against the grain with that, man. You know what I'm saying? The News by Shaw News Sauce Experience in the building. What's good? Team Tucker Fish on deck. How Canada looking, man? What's good? How's Canada looking over there? Shout out to Jahad Tuck. He steps on deck tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Shout out to the team. And definitely looking forward to seeing him shine. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I have to, put the thumbnail up there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jihad, man. Keep on grinding. Everything gonna be everything. You know what I'm saying? Much respect. Shout out to Bud Gonna Stop Canelo. What's good? Devin accuracy was way off. That's what happened when you have them precious arms. He take off his jacket. He probably got them precious arms, He ballooning up and waiting between fights, but it seemed like he getting back in shape. Devin ain't even land on the sucker punch. Yeah, it looked bad, man. Hey, I don't blame anybody for freaking, making light of it, in a joking. Hey, do what you may. All I'm saying is the people that's looking at it, if he did something that was extremely terrible. It's been other fighters that did worse than that when they was with a group of people, for real. We've seen it happen. It's been worse than that, man. It's just the fact that, you're a professional fighter and you threw the first punch. At least when I use Caleb, in my opinion, Caleb has shown aggression towards other fighters. I haven't really seen him show aggression towards regular civilians. That's all I'm saying. Buddy was yelling 31-2, and he got mad and tried to sucker punch him. Okay. So 31-2 is you want to get sued. 31-2, and you want to get sued. So let's just take the dash out. 312. Will it be 312? We'll get back to that. I got to get back. I feel where you come from. Boxing fan talk. What's good? So Ron Garcia put his 2 cents out there, and all I have to say on that is, I'm saying, enjoy your vacation. You still have a lengthy time. You have the holiday season to go to continue, to put on weight and to do whatever you're doing, drinking, snorting, whatever you're doing. But for you, this era, you're one of the biggest, disappointments when it comes down to setting an example. A person that has a lot more than what some fighters have at your age. But for you say you get up there and 25 years old, 100 million, that's a lot. That's a heavy load. What would you do in my shoes and all this other stuff? And then he turn around and he tells people that I like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and then tell somebody to suck your D in the process. You're confused. But enough of that bum. You know what I'm saying? He has to come in here and try to win a title. You know what I'm saying? He's 0-2. Real talk, he's 0-2. We're not talking about the interim that you won, We're talking about you're 0-2. You're 0-2. You know what I'm saying? You lost to Devin Haney in the final. You lost to him because first of all, you didn't make weight, and you set up here and pop dirty. So either way it goes, you would have lost. And then Javante, we already know what happened with you and Tank. So you can't get the job done. You got to prove that you can get the job done, or you're just gonna be one of these fighters that have the looks. And like I tell people, he's gonna be in Hollywood. You know, they was over there talking in spaces about Ryan Garcia. Some dude to my, hey, hit up so and so because he want to do a movie. He want to do a movie with us, me and you. Man, why would you? Why would you? If you really that close to Ryan, why you just didn't hit him up on the phone? Why you gonna put it out over spaces, man? You know what I'm saying? Why you gonna do that? That makes no sense. Anyway, enough of this fool. Let's get down to the nitty and gritty, because at this point, I've been talking about the Turki Alalshikh a lot because this dude is really trying to strong arm, space. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call it boxing space. You know what I'm saying? I want to call it boundaries. Like Turki Alalshikh is really coming in here with a stern, freaking request. He ain't playing around. He's coming here with a stern request. He said, I got the money. It's up to you on whether you want to be about it or be out of it. It's up to you. You gonna be about getting this money or be out of getting this money. I don't really care at the end of the day. But now, from my understanding, Turki Alalshikh is wanting to deal with Naoya Inoue. It says Turki Alalshikh wants to work with Naoya Inoue and have him fight outside of Japan. What was I talking about, Inoue? What did WCS talk about? This guy always having fights in Japan. I was there for a long time. He always want to have fights in Japan. Turki Alalshikh is trying to pull him away from Japan, dog. Hey, he said, I want Inoue. I want this guy. I think all the people needs to see him because now he's only known by the people in Japan and some fans outside Japan. I think that fighter can be very big name if he goes outside Japan. You know what I mean? What do y'all think? Do you think that it would be good to see, in a way, a part of Riyadh season? I do. I really do. But he's not going to be able to just pull him away because in these foreign countries, man, they're usually hold on for a second, y'all. When at the end of the day, these foreign fighters, right? They're usually connected to certain organizations, groups. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say crime syndicates, but groups, very influencing groups. And that's how it works, especially in Japan. So for Turki Alalshikh to want, in a way, to come outside, he's gonna have to make some community. He's gonna have to have some communication with some people. Real talk. Now, I'm not losing any sleep over it. I like to say this. It'd be good that he's able to get a hold of Inoue, in a way, and have him fight, a bigger name outside of 122 that's worth seeing. So because I question his 118, run for undisputed, and his undisputed at 122. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Stephen Fulton, okay, but Stephen Fulton was never a superstar. You know what I'm saying? He was holding the belts. Real talk. No knock on him. He can box, not taking anything away. MJ ended up getting beat by somebody we didn't see coming. He wanted to then scoop the belts up. You know, it is what it is. It wasn't that spectacular to me. That's just all I'm saying. And you know, it's not like Stephen Fulton was on the pound for pound list, nor Paul, or and you know a lot of them people that was at 118, a lot of them fighters they wasn't on the pound for pound list. So take it as you may. Um, I wouldn't have no problem with in a way coming to fight, but it's just funny how the Turk is making moves and he's telling people what he wants. Now, a lot of people are not turning down what he wants. A lot of fighters are just, making sure this happens. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fighters are like, hey, I'll take that check. That's the most I ever made. I'll take that check. You don't hear a lot of fighters turn it down except Canelo because Canelo, he's doing what he wants to do and he's rejecting fighting certain fighters. That's all that is. But as far as some of these fighters that are receiving the highest payday in affiliation if they accept Turki Alalshikh's offer, it will potentially set them up for a pretty good fight, with a top name. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That was put out by Michael Benson. You know what I'm saying? You can read the thread. The thread was pretty hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And what they was saying about Michael Benson though. But you know how it goes with these guys. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes. So let me get back to Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence, okay? You read the title, Who Wins, Errol Spence or Sebastian Fundora? 154-pound question of, will it be fair fight? Will it be a fair fight or robbery? That's my contemplation. I'm contemplating like, can this potentially be a fight where anything and everything, Errol Spence is able to somehow come out victorious with people leaning heavy that Sebastian Fundora will be the winner. I'm not too much to basically wear the badge of conspiracy theorists, anything like that, but in boxing, you definitely should keep it close by because we've seen it play out in front of us easily. We understand that PBC lost a lot of money on Errol Spence, man. Yes. I'm not going to say it's enough to buy homes in Beverly Hills, right? But that fight last year, they lost a lot of money. Wouldn't you know, Sebastian Fundora has people, to include myself, saying that Sebastian would absolutely beat Errol Spence. So, being that the fight isn't official yet, and we can't understand why Errol doesn't have a team of a gym where he's going to train at or whatever, people are looking at the calendar. August 16th, September 16th, and wherever they're supposed to fight in October, he has to be in fight camp already if people are running around here talking about it's supposed to be in October. Now, I've seen that several times on Facebook. I've seen it on IG. But I'm waiting for it to hit BoxRec. I'm waiting for it to become official and the word is dropped. But that's not that much time. That's, as we speak today, depending on where they're going to be, it don't matter, what day it's going to be in October. That's still like 8 weeks. That's about 8 weeks. So when are they supposed to get in fight camp? Somebody tell me that. When are they supposed to get in fight camp? Are they going to have ample amount of time, Errol Spence, to train? Can this fight be a fair fight that both fighters, being that Fundora has his fight camp, he has his team for his fight camp. We don't know where Errol Spence is training, else they trying to keep it covert. They trying to keep it on conceal it, keep it confidential. But forget that. If you're going in here to fight Fundora, you really don't want to go in here and get stopped for a second time in a row. But me, I'm looking at this fight is I'm looking at this fight as a great moment for a historic robbery. I believe the bed nods. Just look at it now. Don't bring Fundora and Mendoza in this, because Fundora was in there with Tim Tszyu for 12 rounds. So he partially erased that night he was knocked out brutally by Brian Mendoza. But Errol Spence, even though he wasn't flatlined by Bud, he took a lot of punishment. It wasn't like the knockout came, right? Like Sebastian Fundora and he was asleep standing up. No. This TKO victory was on the back end of pure premium platinum punishment. So when the bedknobs come out for this fight, I'm pretty sure Sebastian Fundora is going to be the favorite. People want to know what Errol Spence is going to come in plus what. Because it's not like he's a bum fighter, like he's a journeyman. Just if they even bring Errol Spence in at a plus 500 will be crazy. It will be crazy because people are definitely going to put their money on Errol Spence for the robbery. Based on what we seen last year and what Fundora has proven to us that he can fight through the fire. Blood, sweat, and tears. Errol can fight through the fire. But we're talking about being out of the ring for a year, coming off that brutal fight, and then people having questions on how you're going to handle Sebastian Fundora's style. We seen Fundora fight much differently than he did in previous fights. He was very active with his jab, 80+ inch jab. I mean, that was a full extended 50 cal. You know what I'm saying? They kept on just popping rounds down range. That's how 50 cal sound. You know, he was popping that 50 cal out there, man, and giving Tim Tszyu some problems. What's gonna happen when Errol Spence has to deal with that jab out like that, and he's not able to get on the inside? And the only way that I see this fight even remotely, being competitive in Errol Spence's favor is, of course, that he stays at close range and he's able to basically go to the power hand a lot more than he usually do. Don't double up on the jab as much for Fundora. Just try to, stay close on the inside and beat him up. You're going to have to beat Fundora up, man. Because Fundora has shown that he can survive at distance when he's getting punched and punished. He's proven he can take some licks, take some good shots. He's proven that. Real talk. I mean, Erickson Lubin dropped him, but he still got back up and fought. Fundora got heart, man. Spence got heart. For real. Both of them guys has heart. But when it comes to the accident, when it comes to the punishment that he received last year, when it comes to the overall physical health and well-being, when it comes to the healing process, when it comes to his eyes, that's why I say this fight may potentially, historically, be one of the worst robberies that we see. It might. Whether it's a draw when it's clearly, not the Buhachuk and Virgil Ortiz. I'm talking about this may be even worse than that because Sebastian Fundora may, put a whooping on freaking Spence and they still give it to Spence. You know what I'm saying? Or you're thinking about, early stoppage from the referee. Just think about that. Early stoppage from the referee. And it's Fundora, just similar to what Tony Weeks did to Barroso in the Roller Romero fight. I believe it's something going to be controversial in this fight. I really don't want to think that Sebastian Fundora will ever. I don't look at the Fundoras, man. His sister, him. I don't see them as being individuals that will take the orders. You feel me? They don't come off to me as somebody who would take the orders. But this right here, this rematch with Terrence Crawford at 154 is the money fight. Real talk. That's the money fight, because you still have individuals in their minds, you know what I'm saying? In their fragmented minds, believe that all Errol Spence has to do is fight Bud at 154, and he would be the fighter to hand Bud Crawford his first loss. And especially if Errol Spence is the WBC champion, this fight is just going to rally up like it was before July 29th. For real, it's really going to pick up steam, man. That's the money fight. The money fight is not Sebastian and Terrence Crawford. No. It's still people out here, willing to go to the freaking casino and bet everything that all it needs is for this fight, this rematch, to take place at 154. You know what I'm talking about? That's all they need. Spence pick up the WBC belt. I think they would get paid more money than they did before. And it's going to be just as many people. I'm going to say that. No, because some of them Spence fans, they're gone for good. I mean, the missing milk carton, the missing person report's been filed already. There ain't no return. But I'm just saying, it will garner a lot of attention if Errol Spence can show that he can go in here and shock the boxing community by beating Sebastian Fundora, a fight that, like I said, myself and many others believe that's impossible for Spence to win. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of doubt heading to this fight. This would be the Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson robbery if we can make it happen. Even though Buster Douglas wasn't a robbery, I'm talking about the casinos, the betting. This would be a way somehow. I don't know. I don't know. I take that back. I recant what I just said. As you were. I stand corrected. I actually expressed that incorrectly. What I want to say is, I just feel that the magnitude of, when it comes to the boxing fans, on who we is assuming who's going to win based off popularity, and everything like that. A lot of people believe that Sebastian Fundora is going to win. Do people believe that Spence has a chance? Yeah, of course. They believe he has a chance. But then again, hold on for a second. Let me get to the chat right quick. A salute to the boxing queen, Jessica, in the building. I see you. Carlos Rosado is in the building. What's good? Salute to you. I would pick Spence over Fundora, but I honestly don't know what Errol we're going to see. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Like what I meant by Buster Douglas Tyson, I just think, in a sense, there's so many people that want to see Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. They want him to get his back. They want him to run it back, right? But there's so many obstacles out there, and one being the tall and towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora. It is not easy, even if they're leaving happy hour, and they had a nice half a pint to drink, and they just smoked two or three, even in the inebriated, intoxicated, you know what I'm saying, state. If you ask them, hey, who you got between Fundora and Spence, they're gonna tell you, man, Spence ain't fucking with that boy, man. Stop it. Come on, man. He ain't beating Fundora. It's a lot of people that's saying he ain't beating Fundora. But it's a lot of people that's going to be like, hey, I want to see that fight. Give me that fight, man. I got to see it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to MKB, Martin King Boxing, in the building with the $2 super chat. Lighting up the tree of life. WCS, I appreciate you, man. One love to you, brother. Errol and Fundora. Doubt fight happens 2024. Well, you know, he told the reporter at the Chuck and Virgil Ortiz, when she said that the fight's not happening and Fundora was adamant, he said, no, that's not true. He said, if y'all want the info instead of online, ask the fighter. So he was asked, is still a chance? He said yes. When she initially said the fight's not happening anymore, he said that's not true. So we understand that the fight is still happening. We just don't know the when. We don't know the calendar. We don't know the scheduling. That's all we need to know. I like the fight. You know what I'm saying? I like the fight. But we have so much other logistics to take care of with this fight. Spence gonna beat Fundora. At the end of the day, Spence fought the best fighter in the sport. Fundora got slept by Mendoza and dropped by Lubin. It's different. I see where you at. But Spence, if you're saying he was defeated by the best fighter, then we also have to look at rounds 2 through 9 of him taking punishment. We have to take a really good look. I'm talking about find your best telescope, microscope, optic scope. Whatever it is. Because he took some punishment. Heidi on deck, what's good? Fundora came in at plus 200. Odds already dropped for that fight. Spence the favorite. Rightfully so, negative 230. See, that's crazy. Well, the odds are the odds. It's according to, you know, where you at with that, Blunts? Off what site? You think this is going to change tremendously, you know, being that we don't have a fight date yet? Because they just putting odds up there, and they really limped in that. They really limped into those odds. Seriously, that's them odds right there is kind of disrespectful, to be honest. But they pretty much kind of limped into those odds right there. Seriously, because we don't even have a fight date and everything. We got to find out if it's truly in October. If it's not, if it's November, December, that puts Spence later into the, you know, being out the ring too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Spence gonna win. Then is Spence versus Virgil in Texas. Spence gonna beat Virgil. Then we get Crawford. Man, that's a lot. Hey, I don't see it. He have to prove it to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You have to prove that. I have to see Fundora prove it. You know what I'm saying? Odds makers look at the punishment as durability and resilience. Him being able to take 9 rounds of damage will determine the likelihood of his fight going the distance. Well, he did end the fight on his feet. That's one thing we can say about Spence. He did end the fight on his feet, opposite Fundora. But you know, you have to look at it like this if you're going to use that reasoning. You have to look at it too that Fundora has already returned from that knockout and beat a fighter who basically beat the fighter that knocked him out. So that's why the triangle theory sometimes burn down quickly, because Fundora, you know, the Brian Mendoza who beat Fundora lost to Tim Tszyu, who was defeated by Fundora. So they can say whatever they say about Spence taking punishment from freaking Crawford. Spence haven't been able to experience the same run as Fundora did. Fundora came back and beat the guy who beat the fighter who knocked him clean out. Spence haven't even been back in the ring since. And you want to talk about punishment? Fundora showed that he can fight through the crimson mask, man. Him and freaking Tim Tszyu. Straight up shower, a blood shower. You know, I get where you at with it. I do. I get where you at with that scenario. But I just look at it like Fundora, to me, he's had the more, you know, in recent, he had to have the tougher obstacle, because he went into that fight last minute. You know what I'm saying? With a plan, last minute, fighting Tim Tszyu, who beat Brian Mendoza. That's tough. That's tough. They'll stay around there. Money gonna come in on the fighters, and it'll change. It's definitely not October. Okay. I mean, you know, it's always good to have scenarios, because so many people have scenarios on how they believe this fight is going to take place and everything. But I do believe when it comes to the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence rematch, there's no way that I can see Crawford stand around while Errol Spence fight Virgil Hill. You know what I'm saying? And Virgil Hill, in my understanding, Virgil Hill is with Golden Boy. So what Errol Spence get from fighting Virgil Ortiz after Fundora is beyond me. You know what I'm saying? It is beyond me. Real talk. I think after that Virgil Ortiz bullchuck, nobody in their right mind, if they're trying to build Errol Spence back up to be this, you know, popularity fighter, for him to go in there and fight Virgil Ortiz after that performance with Bullchuck. But, you know, with Errol Spence coming off that loss and he coming here and beat Fundora, man, they should, you know, take that momentum, bag it up, you know, put it in the room, unbag it at the table, Crawford Spence, talk it out, try to see what the numbers looking like. And man, that'll be a hell of a clash in a rematch. We need the rematch. Just like we needed the rematch for Canelo, Gennady Golovkin, it'll be good to get this rematch with Crawford Spence. Especially if he goes in here and beat Fundora. But I truly don't have confidence on Spence pulling it off. But I do consider it to be a 50-50 fight, though. I do consider it to be a 50-50 fight. I understand. You're right. It is a big fight in Texas. But what is Spence trying to do? You know, what is Spence trying to do right now? He's just going to stay away from the imminent. The eminent says you need to go over there if you win that WBC, because he had the WBC at 147. The eminent says you need to go over there and redeem yourself with Crawford. Because if Spence comes out here victorious from Sebastian Fundora, then those little mice, chipmunks, they're going to start to come peek their head and say, hey, we need to do live streams. Errol, we need for you to go back over there, call out Crawford. You know, they're never going to be satisfied. A lot of these Errol Spence fans don't want to go to their grave, man. They don't want to go to their grave knowing what they witnessed was never repaired. They were so diehard for Spence, but never repaired. So, you know, this Fundora fight, I can't call it. I'm gonna stay that way too. I cannot call who I believe is gonna win. I have to attach to it conspiracy theories for robberies, politics, money, all that. This fight right here is bigger than what a lot of people believe. For real, this fight with Spence Fundora is a very big fight. Seriously, it's a big fight. Because, you know, Spence only lost once now. You talking about somebody who was on the pound for pound list. Spence only lost once. And a lot of people still consider him, based off him, you know, losing a TKO victory and not a KO victory, that is still some diesel left in the tank. It's still some diesel left in the tank. If you would have kept Spence in there, and he would have received another knockdown in the ninth, Spence would have got back up and continued to fight. I believe that, man. You know, dude got mad heart. He would have kept getting up and fighting. Real talk. But with Fundora, I don't see Fundora knocking Spence out KO. I see if the fight ends via punches, it's going to be a TKO. Just like Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a TKO. Because they don't want Spence to go in there. You know, the PBC is going to say, hey, look after him. Now, don't allow him to take so much punishment that he get flatlined like Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora got flatlined. And you know, people are not talking about him being on the canvas and them tough fights that he's been in. You know what I'm saying? They just looking at him as a dude whose head is damn near in the clouds, and they believe the oxygen that he's getting at that level is going to repair any brain damage that he currently has. For real. They believe when they say Tower Inferno, you know, when he walks around in life, he's getting free pro bono crowd therapy. He's breathing purified air. His air system is different. Man, get out of here, bro. I don't know, man. You know, Virgil Ortiz was pretty much, you know, he was identified to be, you know, a person that's pretty chinny. Why people wants to see him and Crawford, I don't know. Because I tell you what, they still talk about Gamboa Crawford all day long. When are they going to start talking about Virgil Ortiz being dropped in his most recent fight? Oh, they're going to say, oh, yeah, he was out of the ring for a long time. And when he returned, he only had a fight that lasted 22 seconds. It was the ring rust. Well, you know, if Virgil Ortiz tell it, you know, he didn't get knocked down now time. So, do we really want to see Virgil Ortiz, Terrence Crawford? Nah, I don't. I think Terrence Crawford stops Virgil Ortiz at this point, because Crawford is not going to fight like a Boychuk, and there's no way that I'm sitting up here comparing him to a Boychuk. Boychuk, man, it's not. Boychuk is a machine, though. Shout out to him. You a machine, dog. You are an MF machine, for real. Dude is, you know, I'm a fan, man. You know, he's not one of my freaking top 20 fighters, but he a machine. So let's just keep our thinking caps on. because something tells me with 8 weeks, we have to, at this day right here, this puts us in the middle of October, right? I'm talking about 2 months, 8 weeks training camp. That puts us smack dab in the middle of October. If this fight was to happen that month, you have to include fight week. If you include fight week, that'll take us outside of the 16th of October. If by chance we're talking about the fight week being all the way up to the 16th or whatever. Let me look on the calendar right quick. So the 16th is a Wednesday. All right. So that means the fight will have to be sometime like on the 26th of October if we're going to have, at this point, 8 weeks of training camp. With that said, being that we haven't heard anything official and it doesn't look like Errol Spence is in training camp, I don't see that fight happening in October. And look, not every fighter gets 8-week training camp, but goddamn it, let me tell you this. I would hope that Errol Spence has a ample amount of time to get himself down in weight, being that Sebastian Fundora is already, aka Skeletor himself, he's gonna make weight. But for Errol Spence, I don't know if he still has the same nutritionist. For some reason, them guacamole burgers, they look good when it was on the epilogue, but goddamn it, I think it was putting fat cells, massaging the fat cells and getting them all nice and swole rather than taking weight off of them. Maybe he need to do away with the beef guap burgers and work on some veggies, some lo mein. You know what I'm saying? This dude need ample time to drop weight. Now, like Blunt said, like if the fight was in Texas now, let's just say if Fundora and Spence is in Texas, we don't have to worry about him making weight because he's going to make weight, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. If the fight is going to be in Texas with Fundora and Spence, then he's going to make weight. He's going to make weight. And that'll be good to see even Fundora Spence in Texas for a championship fight for Spence. You know what I'm saying? Because Spence didn't take his L in Texas. When he was in Texas, he had pretty damn good showings. Danny Garcia, Ugas, you know what I'm saying, Mikey. He had pretty good showings, man. So to build up, that Texas fan base, they have to really be smart about bringing him to Texas and make sure all the damn T's are crossed and those scopes are aimed in and dot those I's. Because he go in there to Texas and he don't come out victorious and he gets stopped, he might as well move. For real. He might want to see what the going prices want for one of those pyramids over there and go stay in a pyramid for at least about 4 or 5 years in seclusion. Seriously, reinvent the way it used to be, something. Because there's no need for him to goddamn be in Texas, bro. But we'll see how that goes. The original post came out with October. It was on ESPN when it got made. That's why they came out with the betting odds. Okay. Well, October is right around the corner. Then they rumored that the fight was off, and they posted the DM from Fundora where he asked if it was true that the fight was canceled. Fundora said, no, they just pushed the date back. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's facts. I do remember when that information came out, and that's why, listen to this media, the back and forth with this freaking residue that's out here on the media water waves. Be careful, man. There's a lot of debris, misinformation that's passed out here, and people, all they do is jump on here and do a live. And then you have content creators out here just lying, and they don't even care if they lying no more. And then when somebody, jump in the chat and call them out online, They got issues with it, you know. If you don't know, just say you don't know. But some people live and thrive off, this social media kingdom. I get it. But it's no one person gonna wear the crown, regardless of what kingdom you think you in. You can make up all the scenarios on Fundora Spence, but at the end of the day, you don't know when the fight gonna happen, and that's that. You don't know when the fight gonna happen. Fundora said, "Y'all, we should ask the fighters." Okay. She asked him, and he said the fight was not off. Shout out to Trick Noti, the Oracle in the building. I also don't know why people keep saying if Errol had Gray Ray, he would be beaten. He would have beaten Bud. I don't care if Spence had Lou Ferrigno as his fitness trainer. He was getting drugged. Stop it. Yeah, it was a good conversational piece back in the day. And shout out to Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying? That Blu-ray even said himself that Errol was undefeated and he was in tip top condition when he was with him and stuff like that. Unfortunately, due to certain circumstances, when somebody has their own gym, they get to pick and choose who attends that gym or make entry into that gym. And when Diddy picked up his own gym to ensure that certain individuals didn't have access, it was nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? At least unless Spence wanted, demanded, you know what I'm saying, that Blu-ray be up in there training him at IOTBA doing freaking media. But still with that, it would have been a contentious atmosphere and all that. But I agree with Trick. He could have had anybody that night. But really, it wouldn't have played out any different. The way Crawford looked that night was just amazing. So that's why I say with Errol Spence fighting Sebastian Fundora, they want to see, can Errol look, return back to form like he did with the Ugas or the Garcias or the Porters. You know what I'm saying? He people just want to see, his people want to see it. I don't think too much the Crawford fans want to see it, but I think his fans really wants to see if he's able to return to his prominence. Can he return to championship form? Can he return to who he was when people was calling him all these millions of hashtags? Can he return to just one of them? Can he be the truth? The big fish? Strap season? Boogeyman? Whatever it is. Can he at least return to one of them if he fights Fundora? I don't know. I just think, man, looking at the way Team Fundora came out there and fought Tim Tszyu in such short notice and came out with a brilliant freaking strategy, it's going to be tough, bro. It's going to be tough, man. And see, people are not even looking when they say Spence. Check this out. All of you who is content with saying that Spence can beat Fundora, just look at this now. Look at what we just seen with Jared Anderson not paying attention. Right? And the fact that Errol Spence wasn't paying attention. So we have to take in goddamn consideration of the plan that Fundora and them had and the way they shined that night fighting Tim Tszyu on short notice, sticking to the plan. Even getting touched up, still stuck to the plan. Nose busted up, still stuck to the plan. So you take a fighter that do listen and a fighter that doesn't. When it comes into 12 rounds, 3 minutes apiece, who's going to be victorious doing the same thing? When have we seen Errol Spence in a fight that he had or was forced to make adjustments? I believe Fundora would absolutely be that fighter to force Spence to make adjustments. I cannot honestly say to you that I've seen Spence make adjustments Where are the adjustments going to come from? That's all I want to know. Where are the adjustments? Like, seriously, where are the adjustments going to come from? Is it possible for us to see Errol Spence fight differently than he did round for round against Crawford? Yordenis Ugas, Danny Garcia. Is it possible for us to witness this with Errol Spence making adjustments? Because people always bragging on Crawford being able to make adjustments right away and get into the groove. Now they need to start bragging on, can Errol Spence Jr. make adjustments versus Fundora? Can he go to a fight camp with a trainer that he respects enough to listen to, and is he psychologically there? I ain't saying being subordinate, but just to become a student and take himself back to being a listener, a student, being able to be taught. Will he allow himself to be taught? That's what I want to know. Will he allow himself to be taught, knowing that he's going in there with a tough fighter such as Fundora? If Errol Spence comes out there doubling up on the jab and then just to work his man, no, it's not gonna work. He needs to look. If Ryan Garcia can come in there and fight Duarte, different than he's fought his previous opponent, you know what I'm saying? Then that means that Ryan Garcia was able to listen, to go in there and fight a different style than we're used to seeing him. At the time was Derrick James. Being that Derrick James was training Spence longer than he was Ryan Garcia, I'm asking myself, why wasn't Errol Spence able to change up in one of the biggest fights of his career? I've heard Diddy James say why. He said because pretty much he wasn't broke. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to say it wasn't broke. So my question is, seeing these other people go in there and fight, even Frank Martin looked halfway decent for a minute, for two blinks and a sneeze, with the combinations and all that stuff. But is Errol Spence intelligent enough to receive instruction? I don't know if he's intelligent enough to understand that you're not just being a subordinate. You know what I'm saying? You're not being a recruit. Yeah, you're an elite fighter at the highest level, but can you just go through fight camp and allow yourself to be trained, to be taught, and for you to listen and take it in, and be willing to accept instruction? Tough, constructive criticism. Is he allowed to? I don't know that about Spence, man. Because I seen Fundora go in there and fight a fight that I ain't seen him fight like that. Somewhat similar to Ryan Garcia. They was doing some different shit in there. I was like, okay. And look, he stuck to that motherfucking stick. Minute after minute after minute, he stuck to the stick, man. That was the plan. And it started doing work. You know what I'm saying? Before that goddamn sling blade, motherfucking ninja, goddamn 2.0 Kung Fu Theater split Tim Tszyu head open. Here, split. Hey, elbow. Hey, give me that. I mean, it was like Kung Fu Theater all over again. But, shout out to Tim Tszyu, man. Tough competitor. Real talk. Charles Conwell picked Fundora's list. Yeah, man, Charles Conwell is there. But you know, this what I say about that, Shalom, is the fact that I seen Fundora over there with that belt when Charlo had the belts, right? And I know he's came off the belts, and Charlo is a bigger name than Fundora. But I seen Fundora at the door forever and a day. And I'm saying to myself, damn, when Charlo gonna fight Fundora? And then they gave Fundora Mendoza, he got knocked out. Oh, well, there goes Fundora's freaking shot at the title. So here he is, finding himself down. I have to wait. I don't know what I'm about to do. You know? So let me check this out before. I think I'm on. Let me see. Let me type this in here right quick. He might have had a fight. So after Brian Mendoza, no, he didn't have a fight. So I was on with it. You know what I'm saying? I was contemplating on whether he had a fight after Brian Mendoza. So they had him up there with that WBC interim world's title at the door. You know what I'm saying? Carlos Ocampo, Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? And he never got Charlo. And then he got knocked out by Mendoza in the 7th. And here goes Mendoza going over there to fight Tim Tszyu. I'm hoping Charles Conwell is not in that type of slow, rotation. Seriously. I hope he's not, because I'd definitely like to see, Charles Conwell get his shot. And shout out to Bad News, man. Great interview you did with Bad News, man. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Shout out to Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz, some more of the OG in the building. What's good? He said, Carlos said, Action said Fundora beats him. EJ is needs to put out a rap album. His best fighting days are behind him. Hey, man. As long as he ain't rapping on there, cool. As long as he ain't rapping on there, fine. I think his livelihood depends on it. And any fully functional man provider should know that. Spence should be somewhere perfecting his craft in hopes of more lucrative paydays to feed his family. Well said. I mean, check the box on that. Yes. But, one thing about Spence, he has proven that he might be a bit stubborn. You know what I'm saying? He might be a little stubborn. And Jessica said that MF definitely broke now. Hey, I don't get into a man's pocket, but to live a certain lifestyle, Spence has said on record that he don't have a big mansion. You know what I'm saying? He got property instead. So I don't get into a man's lifestyle like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure he would definitely love to have another payday to get that check. You know what I'm saying? To get that check. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that Canelo payday is coming up anytime soon. But Canelo, to hear him said, if Spence name pop up on the radar, he say, I can fight who I want. I ain't worried. Spence, he deserve it. Spence a good fighter. Dangerous fighter. Dangerous fighter. Even more dangerous than Edgar Berlanga. Hey, man. They might still be trying to goddamn slide Spence into that fight with Canelo, bro. Who knows? We all thought they're trying to push for Crawford Spence, and they was trying to goddamn hit us with the okey doke and hit us with a 3-fight okey doke. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to throw us a slider with some pine oil on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to hit us in the head with a mallet, thinking they was behind the scenes trying to make Crawford Spence. And here we are, Charlo Spence. Benavidez, what? $100 million? Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, this boxing game, bro. But this is going to be interesting moving forward. That's all I have to say. If you look at the news and everything, I'm I don't like playing the guessing game. Plus, I've been highly wrapped up in Duplessis and freaking Israel Adesanya. 305. This card is going down tomorrow. You know, yeah, I'll be paying attention to that too. Real talk. You know, I just don't just cover boxing. I just have to pay attention to other things. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, I'm looking forward to, seeing Jahad Tucker get back in the ring and going in there for another tough fight in Canada. So, yeah. I just don't want to talk about the same thing with fights we don't know. Who ain't taking a deal and who ain't taking a deal, who offered who. If you really pay attention to the back and forth, we offered this, we didn't offer, it becomes, man, it becomes crazy, bro. Like, social media is just insane sometimes, especially in this community. It's insane, man. Real talk, it's just totally insane because such poor information comes out and everybody treated as food fit for human consumption. So they'll take it and they'll put their own little spice on it and put it out to the public. And no one wants to try to serve up a freaking appetizer. They wanna make everything look like it's an entree. Oh, this has definitely happened. This has definitely happened. Yeah. I mean, it's so much, software that's out there for people to make bogus ass flyers. It's just so much out there that people just, now they're willing to commit to lie. Now they're willing to commit to lie. They don't care anymore what people say about lies. If you say they're lying, they're going to say, prove it. And then if you even have the chance to say that, the shield that they have, their defense mechanisms is to block you or have somebody in their chat block you. You know who you are, the usual suspects. You know who you are. I really don't even sit up here and defend it, but you know who you are, the ones who continue to do that. Just like Dookie Brown over there talking about Devin Haney was freaking arrested and all that shit. And then when you get on there and listen to them, they don't even be talking half of the time. They just be talking, saying who's dropping in the chat. But, hey, that's where we at with it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be patient. Hey, it is what it is, man. We still waiting. Like, I really don't. I'm gonna take this thumbnail down. You know what? I don't like retreading back on stuff all the time. But the wild part about us having 147-pound out there division is that you're really not hearing anything about the call outs. Really the call outs are coming from different divisions. You got T.O. calling out Norman Jr. I'm waiting for the 147 pounds to basically create their own fire, create their own ammunition. You don't hear anything. I mean, you don't hear anything from Ennis. He showed up to the Boer Chuck, looking the Boer Chuck and Virgil Ortiz fight, looking like a black Eskimo that had a damn TP outside that don't melt. You know what I'm saying? It was 90 some degrees up there, and he dressed in a fucking full freaking Eskimo hunting suit, polar bear suit that can withstand 6 degrees, Celsius and shit. I mean, damn. 162 below zero and shit. But we don't hear anything going on at the 147-pound division to make it into a rivalry, a war of words. Nobody's talking anymore. It's more so social media that does all the freaking gathering of information and trying to pump start some type of rivalry online. I don't hear the fighters talking. Now I know Barrios, he ain't gonna say too much because he ain't that dude. Plus, he just had a baby. You know what I'm saying? He got a beautiful wife. So, wish him nothing but the best. We don't know when he's going to return back to the ring. I mean, 47-pound division is looking like 160 right now. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole lot of people that's holding belts. But, the only time we even hear from them is when they show up to fights. And people ask them questions. Oh, so Jerron, boo. When do you look forward to fighting Crawford? Are you still thinking about Crawford? I mean, that's old. We don't want to hear about that no more. We don't want to hear it. Y'all not going to call out these fighters, these other champions. Don't talk about coming undisputed. If you're saying you're undisputed, you have to do what Spence did. Spence made it perfectly clear, Crawford, I'm coming for those belts. Crawford, I'm coming for the belt. Crawford, I'm coming for the MF belt. He always put it out there when he wanted to. Okay? When he had no other choice, knowing the Canelo fight wasn't going to happen, he put it out there. You know what I'm saying? And he's to blame too, but yet, they had the motherfucking strings tied on the wrist. And he can only say what he was told to say. But at right now, the 147-pound division, Crawford's gone, and people are sad. You can't, nobody want to hear shit about Crawford at 147 no more. At 154, man, it is what it is. We still have people talking about blocking. You know what I'm saying? We still have people thinking that Charlo, if I was undisputed at 154, why would I come back just to win the title? And that doesn't make me a 2-division champion. I gave people the plan back in the day. I said when Charlo had the belts, both of them were signed with PBC. All you had to do is have Spence go over there and beat Charlo and pick up the titles, and then they already locked in for a rematch, and Charlo winning back. Therefore, Spence would have been a 2-division unified champion. Charlo would have been a 2-time undisputed champion. I had this. I'm the one that put that out there before Terrence Crawford became 2-time undisputed. I put that out there. I guess because I put it out there, they said, God damn it, WCS, man, you ruined some shit. If you wanted Spence to have any type of Wall Street appraising value at this time, if they could have worked that plan like that, oh my God, him and Charlo would have been on a whole nother level. Spence would have been 2-division unified. Charlo would have been 2-time undisputed. People would have made big time money. And Charlo would have been at 160. Errol Spence would have been at 154 like, I already been undisputed up here. You know what I'm saying? I already been. I mean, but 2 black fighters never could have masterminded that shit because you would have had to have the one and only Grand Poobah himself be behind that. If Showtime could have funded, Showtime was still around back then. Showtime could have been a part of history if everybody would have sat down and said, hey, let's do that. 2 of our top fighters. Who else? Deontay Wilder was up in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting that out there. I put the master plan out there that would have elevated Charlo to a whole nother level, would have elevated Errol Spence, but they said, you know what? We can't do that because he put it out there. And we can't do that. We don't want him to become freaking internet famous for putting that plan out there and we followed it. We don't want to do that. Dookie No Motion having Brown. Dookie Duke. I see you over there, Dookie Duke. Dodge J on building. What's good? Yeah, I want to thank Cal. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jay, that's something they would have had, thank him and feel good inside, feel bubbly inside. Like, I like to thank Al Hain for this opportunity. Even though I got a rematch, I like to say it feels good, being undisputed at 154. I never thought I'd be able to move. Man, if them 2 black fighters could have made that happen, we're talking a whole different, we're talking about a whole different spreadsheet, a whole different calendar, whole different portfolio, whole different body of work, whole different freaking navigation. Because if you look, Charlo would have became the first 2-time undisputed before Bud Crawford. And you trying to tell me you have people up here talking about fighters signed to the same promotion all the time? Them two were signed to the same promotion. They could have ran the table. Listen, Charlo, you already have one loss. You're going to lose to Spence. And in the rematch, you're going to get your belt back. All right? That leaves Spence with one loss. Spence would have had one loss. Okay? Still good. But he would have been undisputed at 154. And then Jermell Charlo would have picked up his second loss. That would have been way before him and Canelo. I'm just saying, yo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. He wouldn't have to worry about staying out the ring as long as he did and all that. He would have had a fight lined up that meant something. But Turki Alalshikh, you know, he wasn't around then. You know what I'm saying? So we're not sure what the numbers would have looked like for a rematch, a 2-fight deal with Spence and Mel Charlo. I put the play out there, bro. I said all they had to do is start. And this what and what happened? They did it for free. It was rumor out there that, you know what I'm saying, Jermell Charlo wasn't with Derrick James no more. And, you know, it was a little funny stuff. But they showed love to each other, you know, at the fight. You know what I'm saying? When, I guess when he was up there about to fight Canelo. So all they had to do is start some beef. Get the fans locked in. Choose sides. Whoever want to fight, whoever want to support Charlo, and whoever want to support Spence. That's all they could have did. But anyway, that's enough for them. You're looking on there. When did the dust all settles, the king will be recognized. Quebec City, Canada, International. Jahad Tucker. Canadian debut. The one they overlooked. King Richard Sauce Experience has spoken. Saturday, August 17th. And as you gazing at your calendar, that will be tomorrow. Hasta mañana. You know what I'm saying? So, and Jahad Tucker is contending at the middleweight division right now. So I don't like using good luck. You know what I'm saying? Because good luck is like saying that you get it or you don't get it. It's whoever. It's in the hands of whoever. Nah, best wishes getting that. You know what I'm saying? Getting that win tomorrow. Another win to take a step closer to getting a title shot, brother. You know what I'm saying? Just be patient. Don't worry about what everybody else got to say. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Till next time, man, y'all hold it down. Be safe out there. Peace. Oh, matter of fact, I'll probably be back on a little later. I might be back on a little later. I may be on back on a little later. I'm out. Peace.